Yep.
So after high school, you ended up going the JUCO route. You decided to go to HCC in the hometown. Talk to me about deciding on going to HCC and being a JUCO product.
Yeah. It's funny. So my recruitment out of high school was kind of crazy. My junior year, I had, some interest from Jacksonville fam, some mid-major level, low level division ones. I got hurt and I was out for about 3, 4 months. And then, that summer going into your senior year is so important from an AAU perspective. And I didn't perform well. I was still worried about my knee, and I didn't have a great summer. And, we had a decent, once got to high school, um, we had a decent year or whatever. And, I'm graduating, and, I had Eckerd, that kind of fell through at the last minute. And I was getting recruited to D3, and I was like, I really don't know if I want to go to Pennsylvania. And I was like, man, I'm just going to just go to school. Like I was going to hang up basketball, and go to FAM. Both my parents went to FAM. I was like, well, I'm just going to go to FAM and enjoy it. And, Coach Garcia, and he's like, man, just go to HCC and go play pickup or something. And I said, yeah, I'll go. And I played, had a good showing, played well, shot the ball well. And Coach Worlds, who was the head coach at the time at HCC, was there. And he's like, you want a scholarship? I was like, yeah, I'll take the scholarship. Like, why not? Like, I'll be at home. And so yeah, my recruitment at HCC was done at pickup at HCC. It is, and that's all God being God, and just putting me in the right positions, and him putting in opening doors that I never thought was open. I didn't know anything about JUCO, absolutely nothing. And it was just God putting him in position to be successful. And Coach Worlds is, and I call him today, he's like my second father, honestly. I talked to him so much, and he gave me the opportunity to be where I'm at right now today. If he didn't see me play at pickup, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So my recruitment was crazy. Out of high school, it wasn't traditional, nor is it ever traditional. And this, it's never traditional. It just, God opening doors, and you just got to walk through them.
For sure. I keep saying a lot of the stuff I didn't know it was this similar. I had a similar experience my last AAU season. I missed both of the live periods, April and July, with injuries. So a lot of the D1 interest that I had, it kind of went away, same kind of thing. So I definitely get it for sure. It's definitely about just seeing your blessings, even though you might not see them the way that you want them to be seen. So yeah, I definitely feel that for sure. What was it like just going through the JUCO seasons, and what was your experience like overall there?
Yeah, so JUCO is my JUCO experience was exactly how you see it on Last Chance U, how I felt. I met some really cool dudes. I had really good friends on those teams that I stay in contact with. But my first year, it was eye-opening. Living in Citrus Park, it's not the roughest place, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm from the hood. No, I'm out in the suburban white area with all the PWI high school. And it was a little bit of a culture shock coming from HCC, going to HCC, because you got guys from all over Tampa, all over the country, that have different personalities, different backgrounds, and just different people. And I was exposed to all that my first year. And I grew up a lot. And granted, I lived at home, but just to interact with guys, to see where they came from and how they interact with people, it was fun, but it was challenging. And we weren't very good, honestly. We had a lot of tension on our team, and guys doing things they weren't supposed to be doing, and we just weren't a good basketball team. And I ended up getting hurt my freshman year. And again, this is back to God being God, open up another door where you don't think he's opened up a door. And I ended up getting hurt, and didn't play the rest of it was like 5 games in, and didn't play the rest of my freshman year. And what ended up happening was I tore up my shooting hand and I had some ligaments torn in my pinky, so I couldn't shoot for about like 4 or 5 months, and I had to learn how to reshoot, how to dribble, and in that process, my left hand got extremely better. But I put the work in, all the way from May all the way into August, 2 a days, waking up at 5:45 in the morning to go work out with one of our assistants at 6, go to class, come back at like 2, work out again, probably pick up at like 7. I had an on campus job that I was doing. So that summer is where I saw my growth from a basketball perspective. I grew so much, but also from being a productive person in society and finding my will and my desire in those few months over the summer. Like I said, I worked, and I never worked that hard, honestly, at my game or at anything. And that was just, again, God putting me in a place. Okay, you're hurt. Now, what are you going to do about it? With adversity, how are you going to handle adversity? And honestly, I responded. And if I didn't get hurt, honestly, and again, it's another thing, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at right now, because I probably wouldn't have worked as hard. I would just skated by through those summer months. And because I put in that work, I was lucky enough to have some opportunities later in my JUCO career, from Division I offers and things of that nature. Those doors opened up because, one, the circumstance that happened, but also me changing my mindset of, okay, this is what I want to do. And honestly, it was one of the best things that happened to me. And, Coach Worlds was, and this is another thing, like, I got hurt and I became basically a student manager. I became another assistant. And that's where I really fell in love with coaching, to be honest with you. I was doing stats. I was sitting in coaches meetings and all that stuff, during the season of my freshman year. And I was like, man, this is fun. And then once I got the taste of the coaching world, I was like, okay, let me get on the floor and be a coach on the floor. And then let me do this and this. But it all really just grew from there. And JUCO is exactly my JUCO experience, like I said, is exactly what people kind of picture it. It's kind of rough. It's not typical. You're not going to get all the gear. You're not going to get all the, the nice things. And you just it toughens you up real quick. And I needed that, to be quite honest with you. And I appreciate every moment I had at HCC.